We should be live any moment.
Yes, we are.
Okay, I think we are live.
Yes, we
Hi,
are.
Andrew, and hi,
Hello.
everyone who is watching. And if you're watching this live, I'll just give a few minutes before more people come in. If you're watching this live, please comment live below so that we know who you are. So if you're watching this live, please comment live below so that we can know who you are and also interact with you. So for all of those that are watching live, we'd love to know who you are as well.
Absolutely.
Andrew, I can't hear you very well. Are you on?
Can you hear me now?
Can. Yeah, can you
Is it
hear
better?
me? Yeah, sure. It's
Okay.
live, everyone. So as we are
Yes.
live, things will happen, and that's why it's
I know, man.
interactive. Okay, so
I
some people
know.
are saying hi, Andrew. So let's say hi to them first. So we have
Hey.
Darren Liao,
Hi,
who is here
Darren.
with us. So Darren, thanks for joining us again. And we have Vines. Thanks for joining us again as well. Cassandra.
Yes.
Hi, Cassandra.
Hey, Cash.
And
Very good.
Ronald Lim. I believe you know Ronald Lim. Okay.
Taiko.
So yeah. So Ronald Lim in the event space.
Oh,
Okay, so
yes.
let me just
Absolutely.
introduce Andrew a bit, right? So Andrew here today, have special guest here with us, Andrew, and Andrew is an email conversion strategist. Okay, one very rare, how to say, very rare species out there. Not many people specialize in email nowadays. So I'm very happy to have him here. And Andrew is also the founder of Ants Digital. So before we go on, I just want to ask you, why is it called Ants Digital?
Oh, okay. I initially the idea was, ants, as in your 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 insect ants. They are small, but they
Hmm.
are very resilient. You know,
Hmm.
and that was the mirror when I started, because I started alone, and obviously I'm small. But the idea is, just because you're small doesn't mean you can't do great things or you can't do big things, because you can have work with a team. So ants was the basis to represent me. But unfortunately, when I want to register with the ANTS, it was obviously taken. Somebody else much richer than I am did that. So I just changed it S to Z, and that was the basis of Ants Digital. Small and
Okay,
nimble.
that's a cool story because ants can carry, I believe, 10 times or something of their own
Oh
weight.
yes,
So
correct.
it's, and one amazing thing about ants that I know is that they work together very well.
Yep.
So just a bit of QC, a bit, Andrew. I see that your audio is not very loud. It's okay, I can hear you, but it's
Good.
not your
It's not loud.
usual because I've seen you live a lot. So this,
I know. That's why I'm using the same StreamYard as everybody else. The same mic.
yeah, it's quite
One of those
soft.
days. One of those days. Okay. Let me try to do this.
Do you have a mic or something?
I have a mic input. Is this loud enough now?
It's okay, but it's still quite soft.
Quite soft. I'm very close
Yeah,
to the
yeah.
mic
Now it's
already.
better. So I think it's certain angles or something.
Okay. All right. I know what to do.
Yeah, I think you need to speak into the mic and uh, clearly a bit. Okay, so we are
Yep.
live, so you see a lot of these things happening, and very interactive.
Yes.
So yeah, Andrew, can we do a test? So can you introduce yourself to the audience and let's check the volume levels there also.
Okay. Let me know whether you can hear me
Yeah, it's a bit
loud
soft
enough.
now. I think don't
Is it
know.
a bit
Is it
soft
the
now?
angle thing? Yeah.
Uh, it is as angle as what I used to do. I'm not sure
Hmm.
what's wrong. Everything is set correctly. It's the same device I use for my three marketeers.
Hmm.
Hmm.
Is I
Okay, I'll tell you
can
what.
you check your
Why
okay,
don't we
can
do
you check
this?
the
Let's go.
StreamYard
Let's go
whether
the.
it's
Hmm.
check your StreamYard whether it's connected to the right audio.
Yes, it is. It is
Okay.
ATS ATR. Yeah. Okay. Let's go the manual way. Let me go and get the other mic.
Okay.
Unfortunately, it's not long enough, but we'll figure out. We'll figure out.
Okay, I think are you okay now?
Okay.
Okay, now it's
Is
much
this
better.
better?
Yeah. Okay, I think we
Is
can
this
just
better
get
now?
started. Oh, much better. So
Okay, let's go
thanks
with
Andrew,
this.
because
No worries.
I also will repurpose this to podcast. So
Oh yeah, of
so
course.
I want the best possible quality. Okay,
Absolutely.
thank you so much. So let's do it. So before we start, let's say hi to a few people more. I think
Yes.
today we have a good number of audience with us. We have Jacqueline all the way from Singapore. Hi, Jacqueline. And we
Hey
have
Jack.
Kawai from Hontu. And Kawai, thanks for joining us. And we have Yogesh here as well. So Yogesh all the way from Singapore. I
Hey
believe you
man.
know Yogesh as well.
Yes.
Rizal Aziz, the amazing rock star, is here.
Oh yes.
Okay. And Sharon is here as well. So Sharon from Iconic. Hi, Sharon. And yeah, thanks. So for the rest of you, you have joined us, you can comment live below if you're joining us, and would love to get to know who you are as well. So Andrew, okay, so let's get into the first question. I'm not sure, right? Why
Mm,
only this gets asked for email marketing, right? Like I say
mm.
you are a rare species out there, but only people ask this about email marketing. So it's very funny.
Right.
Why only people ask this for email marketing? So the first question would be, why do people ask, is email marketing dead? And is email marketing dead?
Well, the answer is simple. It's definitely not. And
Yeah,
yes,
okay.
a lot of people do post this question. And the funny thing is this: email is 51 years old this year.
Hmm.
Your social media or the social media is for half its age, and email is the basis or one of the key components when the internet was developed. When they created
Hmm.
the internet infra, it was designed for machine-to-machine communication. Now, in current world,
Hmm.
that's exactly what I send my email from my laptop or whatever it is to your machine. So basically, that's the basis of it. Okay, uh, my daughter's. So anyway, what we if you look at it now in email, just a minute, my daughter is making some noise. Just a minute. Cheche, I'm going on a live now. Go down and talk to mommy. Ask mommy to come up, please. Thank you. Here you go. Working from home.
Yeah.
So email itself has about 4.1 billion users as of 2020. Okay. And Facebook has about 2.8 billion users. Now, if you take away all the numbers, every single social media account, when you sign in, first thing first they ask you is for emails. Okay. And then followed by your name and your password. So if anybody tells you that email is no longer is dead, the social media guys are using, and Facebook is basically one of the largest senders of email in the world.
Okay.
Everything related to Facebook, you will receive an email.
Yep.
Make sense?
So it's short answer is it's not dead.
It's
It's
not.
probably the oldest form of digital marketing out there.
Yes, it is the oldest.
It is the oldest. I see.
Yep.
Um, yeah. So it's not dead, and it's fairly alive, right?
It is actually doing very well during the pandemic. There
Hmm.
are studies that says a lot of companies have pivoted to email during the pandemic
Hmm.
because primarily what they've discovered is this: they can run all the ads they want, but it's still a broadcast. Social media is it is great for reach, it's great for outreach, it's great for
Hmm.
broadcast. But end of the
Hmm.
day, the real thing is email is great for revenue
Hmm.
because if I want to send an offer, I can't put it on social media and tell everybody. And each one has their
Hmm.
different set of requirements or needs. But if you are in my list, for example, and I know you have bought something from me, I know exactly what you bought or whatever it is, and you've been engaged with me, I can send an offer directly to you and it's relevant to you.
Hmm.
And I can customize my message. If you want to, we've been talking about LinkedIn and Facebook. When I want to do a post, I have to do a general post. Okay, I cannot speak to Bob Lowe. I cannot speak to Yogesh and all those things because it is everybody's going to read it. But if I send an
Mm,
email, I can send a specific email to you, and another specific email, for example, to Cassandra.
mm,
That's the power of email marketing.
mm. Cool. Okay, so I want to get some engagement from the audience here. I want you to comment below, yes or no. All right.
Mm.
Do you have an email marketing system? All right. I want to know quickly from the audience. If you have an email marketing system, please comment below. And I would love to know as well. So for all those who are watching, comment yes or no below if you have an email marketing system. So Kawai, I see your question on email and also WhatsApp. I think we will answer that. So thanks, Kawai, but we'll answer that later at the end of the session in the Q&A session.
Sure.
So right now, please comment below if you have an email marketing system. Yes or no. So we have Kate Evans. Kate Evans would love to know where you are from. So Kate Evans says yes.
Yeah.
And Darren says yes. Amazing.
Awesome.
So for the rest of you, uh, please comment below if you have an email marketing system. Would love to know as well. So, oh no, someone says no. Venus says no. Probably, possibly because Venus is too famous already. So, like, Venus
Yes.
does broadcast a lot. So he hasn't had an email marketing system yet. Okay, thanks for sharing, Venus.
Awesome. Okay.
So you can comment yes or no if you have an email marketing system. Okay, this is very surprising. Sharon, you should have, right? For so interesting. All right,
Yeah. How
Sharon
do you
doesn't
talk to
have.
your
So please,
tenants?
please help him. Please help her, Andrew. Okay. Kawai says yes, using MailChimp and get response. Maybe
Wow,
maybe
this
we
is
can
an
go
advanced
into
user.
this later. We'll go into
This
this
is an
later,
advanced
Andrew. I
user.
want to ask you
Yeah, cool.
MailChimp versus get response. Okay.
Okay.
Cassandra from ProPay Partners says yes. Okay, thanks for all the engagement. So
Yep.
today we will go into a few things, and I discussed with Andrew. He will also do some teaching as well. So first question. All right. So some of you have, and some of you like Sharon says no. Okay. So what will happen is my next question to Andrew is how do you craft, right? How do you come out with an email marketing strategy?
Okay. It all starts from, you see, email is like any other components. If you do marketing, it has to be 360.
Mm,
You cannot say email is going to do everything and then I'm going to ignore social media. It doesn't work that way, right?
mm,
So you're going to figure out each of the component and put them together so that if I can reach out in social media, for example, like I said earlier, social media is great for reach. So I'm going to use social media to reach as many people as possible. And the moment they
mm,
show some interest and through maybe, for example, they sign up for your newsletter or you do some form of engagement where you collect their email address.
mm,
Now I've basically from that funnel itself, I gather them up to the point where now I can do a one-to-one communication, right? Although
mm,
email, you know that I'm going to send to 1,000 people, but as far as you are concerned, you're going to receive one email from me, right? And the way I write it is as if I'm writing directly to you. Okay, now that's the big picture. The next step
mm,
is knowing that you then want to know how is your sales process like. There are, for example, if it's B2C for e-commerce, it's very straightforward. You either make an
mm,
offer, you have a hero product, and basically you talk about the benefits and you get them to buy. Very
mm,
straightforward. Then you have the B2B side. And B2B, there
mm,
are a whole lot of angles. For example, certain people say, I just want to get them on the phone with me, to get a booking on the phone with me. Or
mm,
certain companies says, okay, I just want for them to book an appointment for my salespeople to see them because I require some form of presentation. Or you
mm,
may need to take them through a journey where you're going to introduce a product to a webinar. You're going to send them some white paper documents, for example. You're going to show them other videos and all. So the entire sales process needs to be mapped out, and then only you use your email strategy to support all these things.
mm,
So for example, let's say a quick one. If my purpose is to book a call, all
mm,
right, to get somebody to go to my calendar, book a call so that I can have a one-to-one with them. All my emails will be driven towards getting the person to book the call. I may share information. I may lead them to a YouTube video that I put up. I may lead them to an event like this. But then in the end, my call to action is get on, book a call, go to my calendar, book a call. That is a success of the email. If I can get that done, then it is considered a successful campaign. Remember, the email doesn't sell. Email is to get you to the next click. Facebook ads get you to the next click. So that's how the sequential or the sequence works.
Okay.
Yeah.
So, I think we need to dial back a bit and talk about email in a more starting off manner.
Yeah.
So, how do
Okay.
you know if your business needs email marketing?
At the very basic, if you need to communicate with your audience, whether it's your purchasers or prospects, or you can find a way that you want to replace a salesperson to talk to them, then you use that email with that. Okay, let's give an example. A cybersecurity that I was working for. We sell security solutions and it's renewable every year. Okay. So previously, prior to introduction of the emails, what we did is we had our salespeople to call on them. So if you, Bob, you're my customer, my sales guy, or I will call you and say, Bob, hey, your cyber security solution, your firewall is going to renew, it's going to expire within the next 2 months. Boss, you want to renew or not? Then you say, oh yeah, I need to get me a quotation, and also I'll go through the whole process, right? Then I've got to see you several times, right? But the problem is this. The amount of money I need to spend on my salespeople to talk to you, which is a conversation that takes no more than 3 minutes, is extremely expensive. So when we replace this with email, what we did is because we know the list of customers, we then send emails to Bob. I know Bob is going to his subscription is going to expire like in 3 months' time. I've got a 30 days email. I've got a 90 days email. I've got a 7 days email, 40 days email, for example, to remind you, a very gentle reminder. Hey, Bob, this is your device and it's expiring now. Would you like to get a quotation?
Okay.
That's it. And it's automated. I no longer need my salespeople to go and waste time with them. No need to so-called, what you call that, be an irritant to the client because they received an email. And the best part is this. We saw an uplift of about 33% renewals by just using emails. So if you want to communicate with your customers in a more effective way, then you can use email because it's very subtle. You can read the emails anytime you want, right? So that's one way of doing it in a very layman way.
Yeah. So I really identify with that because as you know, I use Calendly links, right?
Yeah.
So I use Calendly. And the reason why I use Calendly is because last time what I used to do, if I have a meeting with you, I will message you, maybe a bit kiasu lah. I will message you one day before, hey, tomorrow we have a meeting, look forward to talk with you, right? So right now with Calendly, I automate that. So I'm very kiasu. So what I do is I schedule one reminder one day before and then one reminder 1 hour before. So people say, wow, your one, I really will show up because you keep reminding me. So it's very subtle way. I'm not reminding. It's part of Calendly. So I really know what you mean. So people like Sharon, who is watching right now, like you have your renewal of your co-working space tenant, your renewal of your tenant, right? You could even employ this strategy. Hey, 20 days to renewal, 10 days to renewal, subtly. And then I think the key there is to cut it off when they have renewed. So that is the automation part, but very good strategy.
But even if you look at Sharon's case, just a quick one, an idea just pop up, Sharon's case, because they know the tenant, obviously you have to register the IC number, right? And the good thing about Malaysian IC number is we actually know your birthday.
Okay.
So wouldn't it be nice to send the tenant a birthday message on automated during their birthday? It's
cool.
very personal touch.
Okay. So right now that I know I need an email marketing strategy, if I don't work with you, Andrew, how do I get started? How do I take the first steps to start my email marketing?
You can start practicing using what you have in your Gmail. Because you have your contacts in Gmail, right? So you want to get an idea and say it's a low cost. I don't want to waste my time learning and all the stuff. You've probably seen a lot of people sending newsletters, BCC, not more than maybe if you have about 50, you can try with it and start sending emails to communicate and look at the response because they can reply back to your email. And once you get an idea and you look at the response and say, hey, my customers or my prospects actually do that, then you can basically look for email service provider, do a search on Google. There are plenty of them. And the best part is this. Most of them actually offer free for you to use, like MailChimp and all those things, up to maybe 1,500, 2,000 email addresses. And you can use it for free. And I think, if I'm not mistaken, all of them are almost like full-fledged features that you want, especially when you're starting out. You just want a place for you to store your email, a place for you to drop your email and send your email. And then you can go from there. It's not that difficult to start.
I see. So when it comes to starting out on email, what are the first few things that people could use their emails for? Just now we talked about reminders.
Yeah.
What are other use cases for email besides that?
If you do a webinar like what Bob, like what you do now, you can use this to remind them. You can also basically use this to get in touch with them and say, let's say, for example, if you are in marketing, a new development has came up, okay? You email to your customers. Now the thing is, because they are customers, they already bought something from you, so they know and like and probably trust you already because they bought something from you. And you can pretty much categorize, if you have a name card, okay, this guy bought this group bought this person bought this. Now you categorize the group. Now you can actually segment them in a very base level. And now you can send them an email and say, hey, I saw this news about this. I think it's related. And here's my comments. You can also give a link to that particular news item, for example, and you send it to them. The idea is this. Email is to build the engagement and connection with the users. So you don't have to be fancy. It doesn't need to be fancy for now, for a start. Eventually, once you get a hang of it, there are many so-called tricks, tips, and hacks that you can do to get better response. But generally, you just consider your email as a way for you to talk to your audience, just like I sending an email to Bob. Okay? Make sense?
Yep. Okay, cool. Yeah. So that's how we can get started. And I just want to talk to a few of our audience for now. I think some new people have joined us. And I think we have your friend who is part of the Three Marketers show. Manfred says, yo. Okay.
Yeah.
And then
I'll
we
be
have
seeing him in
Abdul Basit Zahir. Okay. So to give a bit more, hi. So to give a bit more context on how you can give better email campaigns. So I just want to ask the audience, if you have, what email newsletters do you subscribe to? What are your favorite email newsletters? And I can discuss with Andrew as well. But if you have a favorite email newsletter that you subscribe to, comment below. I would love to know. Yeah. I actually love to know as well. So just to get this started, I actually subscribe to Tim Ferriss emails. So Tim Ferriss, every Friday, he has this top 10 list or something on Friday, where he will send out every Friday, this is my favorite things of the week. So I'll just watch on Friday. There is, what emails do other emails I subscribe to? I subscribe to what's his name again? I forgot. But anyway, I subscribe to a lot of newsletters just to read. I also subscribe to the Morning Brew, which is like corporate news in the US, and a lot of things. So Andrew, what are your favorite email newsletters that you subscribe to?
I've got a lot. Morning Brew, I think now their revenue is close to about 20 million annually. Purely on
they are. So can you tell the audience what is Morning Brew first?
Okay, Morning Brew is a newsletter which it's almost like a newspaper, a simplified version. So their position is this: they provide news in their own commentary, on their own format. So they collate news, and then basically you subscribe to that. And they don't sell you, technically they don't sell anything, but because their focus is to grow their subscriber, now they can talk to people like Coca-Cola, for example, and say, hey, I've got 78 million subscribers. and then they read my newsletters every week or every day, whatever it is. Would you like to put a little banner? And that's how they basically monetize. And that's one way of doing it. You can actually do that. If you can monetize your own newsletter without having to have a publishing house. Okay.
Okay.
And then I've got a lot. I've actually subscribed because I'm in the e-commerce space primarily to help e-commerce businesses to do emails. So almost every e-commerce site that I find that that is interesting, I will subscribe. I actually set up a separate email just to subscribe to all these newsletters. And you'll be surprised. You can actually get a lot of learning from them. And you could also do that on your own. For example, since this is the LinkedIn community, right? So when Bob does a LinkedIn networking event, for example, and then you made some new connections, you can actually ask them for an email address. And obviously, as a matter of respect, you tell them that would you be okay for you for me to put your email address into my newsletters, and I'll send you something once a week. Set the expectation right. Now, if they say yes, what you do is you then put it into your email newsletter, and you can send your content over. Now, this is a very subtle way of influence. There's a very subtle way of showing your skill sets to your prospect. Okay, so Bob obviously learned quite a fair bit from Tim Ferriss because he subscribed to the newsletter. Now, Bob's position, or so-called Bob's understanding or Bob's view of Tim Ferriss is different because he has got so much value. The next time if Tim Ferriss is in town, very likely he's going to sign up for a paid event, or he have a class or something. So the beauty of email is this: I can send you value over time, and to build that link between myself and the prospect. So that's one way of doing it. That's how newsletters are done.
I see. And I think there are a few people commenting. So talking about Tim Ferriss, thanks Jason. It's called 5 Bullet Friday. Such a catchy name. How can I forget? And for Manfred Shi, he says he subscribes to Phil Frost. I'm not sure what is that. Do you know what is Phil Frost?
Not heard of him. I'm going to check it out after this.
So I just remembered the newsletter that I love to subscribe to. One is Ramit Sethi. So I will teach you to be rich. So I will subscribe to his newsletters. Very long text newsletters. I learn page by page of reading. I also subscribe to Nathan Laka. Nathan Laka gives a very good overview of the SaaS space. But since we are talking about this, any email marketing campaigns, let's say for brands and businesses, that stand out for you, Andrew?
There are different. If you look at the info products, you can look at emails from different angles. So you can look at emails from Franken if it's info products. You can look at Grant Cardone. That's one. You can also
why do these stand out to you? Can you share with us as well? So for example, Grant Cardone, why does he stand out?
In Grant Cardone's case, he doesn't send you one email for one campaign. Okay, he sent you a series of, the last time I count, maybe about 7 to 14 emails selling one product, which is called, let's say for example, he has a 10x conference coming up. He's going to send you one email a day, and sometimes he may run it one whole month, right? Talking about the product. But the good thing about Grant is he would tell you 10x from different angle. He can talk to you 10x from his daughter's angle. He can talk to you 10x why you need to join 10x from his wife's angle. He can talk about news event, for example, Donald Trump, a president, and all those things. And he's going to morph it into a story, and then eventually lead you to say, why don't you take the 10x? Right? So it is interesting to follow Grant's email primarily because he uses angle, and Frank does the same thing as well. Okay. Russell's is basically, for his email, he has so many products coming in. Okay. But if you look at him, he's moving also towards the storyline. He will start with a story. Previously, he's used to be very straightforward sales. This is what I have, this is what I can do for you, and this is how you can get it. But over time, as he grow older, as he grow more mature, you will notice that he would incorporate a story of his business. I mean, he's been in the business 18 years, so it's plenty of stories. It's like, my mistake
Mm,
is this, I do this. And by the way, this is, if I knew I could do, if there's something I knew about
mm,
this, I would have done this. By the way, don't go through my so-called the road, the path I've gone through. I have this ready for you. And it
mm.
combines my 18 years of experience, and click and go to my landing page.
Okay.
So it's very subtle now. And a lot of, I've noticed a lot of, for info products is very subtle selling.
Mm,
They don't shout out and say, hey, Bob, I've just got this new course. It's going to help you do this. Get it now. Okay. So that's info products. In e-commerce, now you notice there is also a trend towards storyline, but more importantly, e-commerce, they want to focus on the personality of the brand.
mm,
So it's no longer just put a nice little product here and say, hey, for sale for $10, get it now. Okay. They're going to tell you some story. So you look at Allbirds, for example, they will tell you the story of Allbirds, what makes their shoe so unique. If you look at cosmetics, those are great storytellers as well. Okay. The legendary brands, for example, I can't remember the names now, but if you look at all the e-commerce stuff, those who tell a good story to tell you the basis of why they started, what makes them unique, are those that the one that gets engaged. Because every day, if I mention every day, I sell you an image or an email about selling wallets or selling bags, you're going to go blind. You're basically going to ignore me. But if I tell you the story of the leather, I tell you a story about the design of this particular new fashion, or I create an intrigue or curiosity in the sense that, hey, I've got something new coming up, and this is something that we have not done before, and then it is in collaboration with a certain artist. Before I talked about a product, I talk about the story of the artist in a series of emails. Then only I do a launch. So those are many tactics that you can basically set up to do.
Thanks for sharing, Andrew. I love some of the examples that you gave. So I personally remember I used to be very deep into coffee, like super
Oh yes,
deep into the coffee scene.
right.
And I visited a cafe in Melbourne, and it's called the Proud Mary Coffee Roasters. So it's in
Mm.
Fitzroy. And I've been subscribing to their newsletters, even though I haven't been to their cafe for many years already. I've
Right.
been subscribing to their newsletters since. And I just enjoy reading their newsletters. And every time they don't only talk about, hey, come to my cafe, hey, come and buy this coffee. They
Yeah.
talk about the story of the beans.
Yeah.
Where is it farmed, right? How is it processed?
Mm.
How do they roast it? And then it paints such a picture that, oh my God, I have to buy this special edition, this roast.
Correct.
So I actually read it and also forward it to my friends. So that's something that I look forward to.
Yeah.
And I think it really resonates because don't treat email like just a conversion point, even though conversion is important. But use it as also a tool to tell your story and talk about your brand as well. So
Mm.
that's a great learning.
Yeah.
And we have some people who shared with us some of their favorite newsletters. So
Oh.
Jackson Wong says the favorite newsletter is yours, Andrew Wong. Okay,
Hey,
maybe
thanks,
Wong and
man. Thank
Wong.
you so much. Thank you so much.
Is he related to you?
No.
Oh no. Okay, so just so like Manfred has something to share. So Manfred says it's like talking to a real person instead of selling. Wow, good one, Manfred.
Yeah, it
Okay,
is. It
so
is.
before we move on to the audience questions, we need to move on to our most important question. Okay, so the most important question is how to get more sales from email, because we have an audience
Mm.
here. Some of them are marketers, some of them are business owners, and we'd
Yep.
love to know how to get more sales from email.
Okay. So let's take an example. Bob. Let's take your example, Tim Ferriss.
Mm,
He has been sending you what, an email a week. I'm going to subscribe to Tim's newsletter soon. So let's say he sends you an email a week. He doesn't sell you
mm,
anything. He basically gives you some pointers, some tips, talks about the people who have worked with him, for example. Okay, another thing, like, you don't just talk about the background of the company, you can also share stories of your customers. Imagine if the Australian coffee shop features you on their email. Bob has been here for X amount of years and he has left back to Malaysia. Now he's back, and he still misses us and all those things. Those are stories that people want to read for emails. They don't want to talk about buy my coffee. They know they will buy your coffee. So in Tim Ferriss' case, the moment he builds that bond by sending content with you, when he has a new book, and he's not gonna send a blast to, he probably have like 350,000 a million subscribers. He's going to send to everyone. He's going to look at the people who open his email for the last 60, 90 days. That means it's a signal that Bob is heavily into his content, and he's going to send his book launch news or offer to Bob directly. Now, the chances of conversion is super high because Bob is already into Tim Ferriss content. So if you want to get more sales, you want to start sending emails and start collecting emails, your list grows, okay? Basically grow your list to a point where you can then interact with them and you can monitor and look at the interaction of the people who reach your email. And there are many, this is slightly advanced tactic. That means I can actually monitor whether you click on certain content, and I can then classify you into a certain group that, okay, maybe Bob is interested in marketing on LinkedIn. And Manfred is interested in marketing on TikTok, because if I put out content on TikTok, he clicks on it. But I put out content on LinkedIn, he doesn't click. So once I have that, so eventually, if the moment I have a product related to LinkedIn, I will talk to this group, not the rest. And because I'm talking to the audience that resonate with the subject or product that I'm selling, my level of increasing the sales is higher. Not forgetting, you also have your social media, you see. So the moment you talk to them, you can direct them to social media, they go on social media, they see the same product. But because I have a one-to-one communication with you already, the chances, the rate of closure is definitely higher. And it has proven that, a lot of people trust email to buy stuff. They look at social media, they remember, but the moment they receive an email from you and you can spread them over a couple of emails to talk about the product benefit or services benefit and how they can use it, they would be ready to buy your products. The chances is higher by then. And email, that's why people say, email is great for revenue, because it gets you closer to the close.
Okay, so it's about segmenting. From the first part is about segmenting, reaching the right people. And then social media is for everyone, but on email, it can be really personalized to get people closer to the sale. Okay, so since we have a good number of audience here, I would like to invite the audience while I ask my next question. If you have any questions on what Andrew shared just now, please comment your questions below, and we will get to questions. I think we have a question from Kawai. We'll get to it later. But so Andrew, I think I heard that you mentioned something very important, which you said the example of sending emails to people who open the emails, right? So in your experience, what are some of your favorite grouping or how do you say segmenting strategy that you have?
Okay. Guys, let me know if this one you find that it is a bit over your head or kind of advanced. But I'm just going to share with you. Now, generally, when I started my newsletters, I basically look at people who open or click my emails for the last 60 days. The type kiasu, you don't have a very big list. I don't have a very big list now anyways, But basically, when I started, I very kiasu. People say, I got email. I said, go ready. The moment the person unsubscribed, I feel like somebody has taken a piece of my heart. But now I would encourage them to unsubscribe if they do not open my emails. 60 days. Recently, I did a cleanup. I removed 100 plus emails for people who have not even opened my emails for 45 days. So when you're starting out, you will send obviously email to everybody over a period of maybe 2-3 weeks. Okay, I send emails every day, Monday to Friday. So it allows me to shorten that cycle. If you send emails once a week, it probably take longer for you to identify. Okay, so the moment I look at 30 days as a cutoff point, whoever do not open or do not click, and your ESP, that's why the value of ESP comes in, because it gives you this report. You have two choices. One, either you can unsubscribe them, or you can send an email, and say,
Sorry,
hey,
what is ESP? Can ESP stand for?
ESP basically stands for email service provider. Your MailChimps, your get response.
Okay, so you look at the metrics, is it?
I look at the metrics. I look at
Okay,
the
so yeah,
metrics.
so what are the metrics that you look at? So you look
So the
at
metrics will be
people
open rates.
who, mm,
Look at open rates, people who open. Look at
mm,
clicks, people who click
mm-hmm,
on any of my emails.
mm-hmm,
And then I look at the duration, how long
mm,
these people have opened since my last email.
mm, mm,
Okay. So once I know this, then I can also, okay, this is the first cut. Then I want to say, in my case now, next month, very likely that I will be moving towards 14 days. That means people who have opened or clicked on my emails for 14 days will get my daily emails Monday to Friday. Those who have not opened for the last, 21 days or 30 days will probably get 2 emails a week from me. And then those who open less within 30 days will get 1 email. Now, you notice that out of that list, I'm sending to people who heavily engage with me. It helps me in my open rates. It helps me when gives a signal to people like Gmail and all those things that this Andrew guy,
mm.
when he sends email to his people or send emails out, people actually respond by virtue of opening or clicking and all those things. Oh, that means this guy, which this domain, is considered a trusted sender. It reduces the chance of me landing in spam. But if I send an email, 1,000 email out today, and 90% of the people don't react, okay, over a period of 1 week, Gmail or Yahoo Mail, the inbox providers is going to look at this signal and say, hey, this guy, this domain, I think he's spamming because he sent email, people don't respond. I think this guy is a spammer. I may want to classify them and put them all his emails into spam box. So those are the ways when you send to people who engage, you land better in either promotion or your inbox. Okay, so this is called sender domain reputation. Because Gmail's interest is to protect users like you and I. Imagine if I use Gmail and every day I receive my emails or spam, messages and all, I'm going to drop Gmail. I'm going to go for Yahoo Mail or go to Outlook. So they have all this so-called security protection to make sure that only emails that I engage with, I will receive it. Those that I don't, I won't. That's why you notice in Gmail sometimes at end of 30 days, there's a little banner at the top. Hey, Andrew, you have not opened Bob's email for the last 30 days. Do you want to unsubscribe? Okay. Gmail does that. They were helping, their interest to help you clean up your inbox. So for us as email senders, we want to make sure also that I only send if Bob likes my email and I know when he opens, I know when he clicks or which email he clicks, I will make sure I send to him. But if Bob never opens my email, why do I want to do that to him? And why do I want to irritate Bob? So I will either remove him from my list or I send less.
I see.
Make sense?
That's very important. So sending
Yeah.
emails based on the engagement. So whether they have opened your email in last 30
Yeah.
days, and then you can put them into different campaigns. So those
Yes.
that really open, you can put them into very active campaigns.
Yeah.
Those that don't, you can put them into more passive campaigns.
Yeah.
So that's great. Okay, so thanks for answering that question. So we can get to some of the questions
Okay.
from our audience. So previously we had a question from Kawai. Okay, so Kawai is in the how to say entertainment, not
Mobile.
entertainment. He has a escape room
Oh.
attraction
Oh, cool.
business. So let's promote Kawai's escape room a bit.
Yeah, man.
So it's called Horn 2. It's in D-Link Mall, and I've actually personally played it. So you go in there into a hotel, and then you have to solve a mystery to come out the other end. So he has a lot of database
Wow.
that you can imagine. Right, he has a lot of
Oh.
people signing up and a lot of people coming. Of course, MCO, he cannot do anything right now. He's
Yep.
doing this online for companies.
Mm.
So Kawai asks, since more and more people using WhatsApp to convert consumer, as the response can almost instant, how tools like WhatsApp can
Mm.
work hand in hand with email?
Mm.
Hey, Andrew?
Okay. Uh, Similar like you use SMS. If when you collect your email list, you also ask for their phone numbers. When you send an email, especially when you're doing a promotion, you can also follow up with your WhatsApp or SMS messages as well. Now, there are tools that integrates your email and what. So I mean, at the very basic, you know, once you send your email, especially for important ones, you can remind them through your WhatsApp and redirect them either back to your email or redirect them back to your landing page. Now you have a one-two punch approach for the users. But make sure that uh, you don't WhatsApp. I can send one email a day, or I can send four email a day. You probably won't be so irritated as opposed to me sending four WhatsApp messages to you a day. Okay, so you be very careful with WhatsApp. So you trigger WhatsApp as and when if it's absolutely necessary. You can do it email, especially when you're getting closer to launch date. Yes, you can basically trigger more on your WhatsApp. But my advice is be mindful. But you can use this in conjunction.
Yeah. So I think the main tip here is also you need to have a multi-channel approach. So
Absolutely.
you need to do your social media broadcasts, right? And you can do your WhatsApp or SMS broadcasts and to your WhatsApp groups as well, or WhatsApp numbers. And email is to complement that. And email, as Andrew said, you can be a bit more, the frequency can be higher. So like
Yeah.
when I do my events or webinars, I also do the same. I have LinkedIn message, I have email, I have LinkedIn app. I don't have WhatsApp at the moment. Like
Yeah.
I know some webinar organizers that would call their
Correct.
prospects as well. But
Yeah.
how email works with this is it's a channel where you can have more frequency to complement your WhatsApp
Yeah.
communications. So I
You
hope
can
that
put more
answers your
details.
question.
Yeah.
Yeah, can put more details and it's less
Mm.
invasive than WhatsApp. I think
Yeah.
that's what you're saying.
Yeah.
So I think thanks, Kawa. Let us know if we answer your question. But
Yeah.
thanks,
That's
thanks
all.
for your question. Great question, Kawai. And we have a next question. So before we go to the next question, everyone here, if you are watching, comment your questions below, and we would love to answer them. So we are now almost to 9 o'clock. So last few
Wow. Time
questions
flies.
as well.
Time flies.
Yeah. So last few questions. So we have a question from your friend. Last few ones. How many emails? Manfred, of course, has a
Yeah.
lot of questions. And he says, how many emails should one send when a new prospect or customer sign up the newsletter? So do you understand his
Okay.
question, Andrew?
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay. So yeah.
So, uh, when when a new person sign up, you would need to at least have maybe between 3 to 4 emails. I call it a welcome sequence, or generally people in the email marketing space call it welcome sequence. It's an email to basically tell who you are, what you do, and why you do, for example, and talk about the brand. And also, obviously, to welcome them when they sign up for a newsletter, tell them that, hey, you're going to receive an email from me maybe once a week or twice a week, or in my case, 5 days a week. Okay. So that's the first cut. At least 3 to 4 emails to get them warm up, to let them know they're in the right space, and to set expectations as to what you'll be sending to them. Okay. So once that is done, you then can decide, for a starter, if you're new to email marketing and you say, hey, what to write? It's just like, when we started Facebook, when we started social media, people say, oh, you got to make a post, one post a day. You're like, what the hell? I'm going to send one post a day. What to write? So you start with once a week. And then once you build up that momentum, and obviously, now basically your audience, what they respond to, you can then scale up to maybe 3 times a week. So there is no hard and fast rule about it, but definitely not once a month. Once a month is definitely, may as well you don't do. Okay. So if you use myself as a benchmark, once a week is the bare minimum. If you can do daily, better still.
so I
Okay.
hope that
Depend on
answers your
people.
question,
Yeah.
Manfred. So it's more of identifying, warming up your audience, and then slowly, figuring out your strategy to sending them more frequency of emails.
Yeah.
Okay, so we welcome more questions. We still have some time left. So give us your questions when it comes to email marketing. Can be simple as what software, what we can do, how do you collect emails. We love those questions as well. But today we don't have much time. We only have this planned for an hour, so we cannot go into detail. But Andrew will be sharing more in detail. He's having a webinar coming up in next month. All right, his webinar is called Email Engage Your Prospects and Customers, where he will share frameworks. He will go in deep into technical aspects of email marketing. So it's called Engage Your Prospects and Customers, Make More Sales Effortlessly webinar. So if you want to be part of this webinar, you want to find out more how you can attend this webinar, comment webinar below, and Andrew will reach out to you and send you the link. Okay, so for you, those are interested, comment webinar before. So Andrew, can you just tell us a bit about the webinar and also when is it happening?
Okay, the webinar is going to happen. Thanks to you for inspiring me to do this. The webinar is going to happen on the September the 20th, 9 p.m. And it probably go about an hour plus or minus, depending on responses and all things. Today is very surface level. The webinar allows me to go into a bit more structured as to how you start, what you need to put in. I call it the ABCs of email marketing: the authentication, the blueprint, and also your content and conversion. So I want to take you all through each one of these steps. The outcome is this: by the end of that 1 hour plus, you would have an idea basically how and where you want to start. Okay, I would not be teaching how you write your emails. That's basically a 1 month long kind of thing. But basically, the key things that you need to look out for, and then you can actually start testing and writing your own emails. It's not that difficult. You don't have to be a super copywriter to do this. As simple as possible in English will be done. Okay, so that's the purpose that I wanted to do this, to share and to get more of you. If you are especially you're kind of curious about it, or if you've not done any email marketing, to give you an idea of the landscape that's available, and you can then decide to make your own journey from there.
Okay, yeah, look forward to the webinar. And if you are interested, please comment webinar below and Andrew will reach out to you. So we already have a few people. So Andrew, remember to reach out to them. We have Darren Dell.
Awesome. Thank you so much.
Monica Eckerlin. So please reach out to Monica. And this one we cannot see for now, but it's actually, if you see on LinkedIn, it's called Calvin Fu from Singapore. So please reach out to him. And just a reminder, comment webinar below if you would like to attend this webinar. And for those who are watching this on replay, I also get some people watching this on replay. You can comment webinar below and Andrew will personally reach out to you as well.
It's September 20th, so we have some time. So yeah, one more thing is, if you like to get a taste of the kind of emails I write, if you go to my LinkedIn channel, or my LinkedIn profile page, you call it profile? Is it profile or call it LinkedIn page?
Yeah, profile. Yeah.
Okay, so LinkedIn profile. Bob is basically is my CFO on LinkedIn, so I'm learning a lot of stuff on LinkedIn from him. So go to my profile. There's in the section called Thoughts of the Email Gig or something like that. Okay, sign up for that. It lands you into my newsletter. You will get emails from me 5 days a week. Get a taste of how emails basically can be done. I will share some tips that I have, and then some experiments. I'll run a lot of experiments. You guys are going to be my guinea pig to run subject line headers and all these things. And I'll share with you the results, so that the idea is information is free. So, but the implementation is different, right? But as long as I can inspire you to do better with your emails, it's fine. The more of us do, the better it is. So you can actually join my newsletter this way.
Yeah, please connect with Andrew and go to his profile and subscribe to his newsletter, and you'll see how email is executed. So we have a few people interested. So I'm not sure who is this, but you can reach out to them
when we look at our LinkedIn.
Yeah, so we have Mushafir Mustafa as well. Please send him a link. So thanks for your interest.
Thank you,
and
guys.
We have Jacqueline from Singapore. So Jacqueline, I think you can benefit from this because you have a lot of people attending your workshops for numerology as well. So let's get to the last question from Kawai. So Kawai is super interested in email marketing. So second question from Kawai. So Kawai asks, which email tools Andrew like the most recommended?
Okay.
Andrew.
I personally use MailerLite. I started with MailChimp, but the problem with MailChimp at that point in time, I think we want to supposed to talk about it. So problem with MailChimp at that point in time was they calculate the number of subscribers. Let's say if Bob is inside and Bob is inside a group called LinkedIn Mastery. Bob is also inside another group called, let's say, email marketing. LinkedIn will calculate Bob or my subscriber as 2%, 2 subscribers. And that doesn't make sense for me. So when I switch over to MailerLite, MailerLite is irrespective whether Bob is inside my LinkedIn group or 10 other groups, they only calculate based on the single email address. So cost-wise, makes sense. And also, MailerLite allows me to basically visualize my automation. Okay, we've not had a chance to talk about automation. We'll be talking about automation in the webinar, where how you can structure your emails that is triggered based on users' engagement or users' activity. So that is for basically just sending pure text emails or basically information-related emails. If you move into e-commerce, generally these are the two tools I find very, very useful. It's either Klaviyo or Omnisend. Those are designed, they call it the email e-commerce infrastructure because it ties to your WooCommerce, it ties to your Shopify. It has a lot more other cool features, but it's very dedicated for email, for e-commerce. Make sense?
Yep. We have a follow-up question from Doreen. I'm not sure if you've tried this email software. She said, how about text email? I actually never heard of this.
Never heard of this. But,
Okay.
if it allows you to send email and, your inboxing is good, that's fine. There are just a lot of emails, Send in Blue, you've heard about Sendbird or whatever it is. Generally, they're okay, unless you have a list of like 100,000. But if you're starting, just pick one. My tip is to look for those that allows you to create free landing pages, because you need a page for you to have a form to collect emails, for example, right? You don't want to waste money to build a website because I've got no content to write. Why do I spend money on a website? Find those ESP that comes free with landing pages, allows you to build landing pages just to host your form. Yeah.
Yep. So we have a number of email service providers. You call them email service providers, right?
Email
that can
service
do that. I
providers,
know MailChimp, GetResponse, and also MailerLite can do that. So please reach out to us if you'd like to sponsor the webinar or sponsor my live series. Okay. I know MailChimp won't anymore because we just said the problem with MailChimp, right? So I think MailChimp
but
is
they
out.
actually,
Okay.
the other day, they have actually gone better. I don't know about the pricing though. I don't know about the pricing, but they've gone better now. Last time, the automation is not really that comfortable for me. I couldn't visualize, but now they actually allow you to do visualization of your automation.
Cool. Yeah. So thanks for your question, Kawai, and thanks so much. We actually talked about a little bit about the tool. So thanks so much, Kawai, and I hope we answered your question. And if you need any help, Kawai, you can reach out to Andrew personally, and I think he will give you tips as well on how you can manage your email databases and email marketing. So I think we are right now 9:02. So thanks, Andrew, for being part of us. Last shout out for your webinar again. All right. So last shout out. So everyone, you're still watching. Thank you for each one of you for being here. I hope to see you in Andrew's webinar. So comment webinar below and Andrew will send you the link and I will see you at Andrew's webinar. And thank you everyone for attending this live. And I'll see you soon at the webinar. So thanks, Andrew, as well for being part of this.
Thanks for inviting me. Been a pleasure.
Yeah. Thanks, everyone. And I'll see you next week.
Good night. Cheers.